Y'all watching another episode of Highly Respected with yours truly, Miss Streetz, and I'm here with a very dope guest, Parelli. What's good?
What's the word? What's the word? Parelli 6 Borough on IG. If you know, follow me, Google me, or whatever. We out here, up and coming.
Yes, Parelli. Talk about the 6 borough thing for those who don't know nothing about that before we get into your music and stuff.
So growing up, like I'm from Far Rockaway, and they always looked at Far Rockaway as like out there, just like out there. It's like 10 minutes away from Brooklyn, 10 minutes away from Long Island, 10 minutes away from Jamaica. So they always used to tell us as a kid, like, y'all from the 6 borough, like y'all not even part of the boroughs. Like, so we always thank you. We always adapted that and gave that our name, the six
Right.
boroughs. So growing up now, I had went through different names, but then thank you, appreciate that. But I went through different names and those, so it was like something that I can relate to. And Parelli, it reminded me of tires, but I spell it with the A because of the A train of Rockaway.
Right.
So I stay grounded about how I get in the 6 borough is Far Rockaway. So no matter where I go, when people ask me what that 6 borough means, they have to ask me about my hometown. And I will always enlighten them. So that basically like me still bringing my hometown with me regardless. And that's
Right.
that 6 borough is like, we're just out there. We're on our own. We're just out in our own place. We got the beach and the bridge. That's it. So we're like our own peninsula, our own island. So we just adapted to that.
And shout out to Far Rock too, by the way. A lot of talent out there, a lot of undiscovered talent, such as yourself as well. I see you got food delivered and all that good stuff, but we gonna stick to the music still, even though the food looking good.
Yeah, it's fire. It's the lunch hours, so I had to make sure I
Yes.
eat good because I be running around sometimes and I don't have time.
Gotta eat. So we gotta talk about a couple of your records that you released a while ago, and some of them are kind of recent that you dropped. Scheming, I love that joint. That's my joint there.
I appreciate it. A lot of people tell me
Insomnia.
about that.
Yes, it's my song. And then all those songs came off of your album. Talk about the album too, Serenity.
The album, I named that after my daughter because I've been doing music for like probably since I was a kid, since I was 14, 15. And my uncle that passed, he was like my big influence on it. He was like a DJ, a producer, and everything. But since my daughter was born for like 2 years ago, I started really going public with my music. I treat it as a diary. Like I just love doing it. Like I didn't care if nobody heard me or not. I would just go home, have a bad day and write.
Right.
But then I looked at my daughter's eyes and I was like, I have a talent to make like something generational. Like if I really keep my mind focused, and I can't play no games now because now I have somebody else really dependent on me, like really, really dependent on me. So then I started coming up with tapes before that, but I always knew I wanted to name the most important tape after my daughter. So that's what the Serenity, and my daughter's name is Serenity, and that's what that tape is called. So it was like a peace of mind. It's like so many things wrapped in one. And then you listen to that tape, it gives you different emotions and different feelings on different songs, because that's how I was feeling like throughout the time my daughter was born and what I was going through in life. So it was like I put it all together, and it's all because of her. The way I'm really pushing myself is all because of her. So that was a meaningful thing, but that's like the kickstart. We're gonna keep it going now.
And it's 19 tracks on there. I see you have, a lot of features with people. Do you prefer features? Or do you kind of like, for this album, it look like, you like features. What's your thoughts on having features?
I thought it was basically like if I tune into you and I like your work, I'll always like make a song, but sometimes I might just hear somebody on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like as I'm making a song, I'll just hear somebody like, oh, this person would sound good on it. So then I'll reach out to them. So it really is like I'm always open-minded doing features, because I tell people, if you try and get your fan base up, right, you do features. But you do features with people that's not really in your neighborhood. You do features with people that are out your neighborhood, because when you do a song with them, you're going to let your neighborhood hear that. Right. And when they do a song, they're going to let their neighborhood hear that. So what you're doing is you're basically just combining the more of the fan base. Mm-hmm. So that's why you always try to reach out and do features, but you try to like go global with it. Don't try to just do features with like all your friends that much. You could, but you try to like build relationships and network with other people. So now when you come step on the scene, people are gonna be like, I remember that guy. We actually reached out. I heard one of his songs like a year ago. It happens like that. You're never gonna break up overnight. Everybody thinks they blow up overnight. It's really like 6 years, 7 years of groundwork just to blow up overnight. It won't make sense, but it makes a lot of sense.
It definitely does. And you have to talk about like, what do you consider yourself? Because the songs are kind of like a melodic feel, it's a little harmony, singing, rapping. So what's your style though? Like, what is it?
It's crazy. I'm still Like I thought I found my style, but as I'm like really going through with this, I'm still finding my style as I go. Like I like to rap, but then I like to capture feelings. And sometimes you have to harmonize with certain feelings for it to reach the people more.
Right.
Like you can rap it, certain words that you can rap, but there's certain words you're supposed to just like just be smooth with it. So actually I like being like universal. So I like trying to touch all types of music. So to put myself as in like one genre or one type, I feel like I'll be putting myself in a box because I'm still finding myself, like the true potential in myself right now as we speak. So I couldn't answer that question, but I'm really don't know. It's like a to be continued. But I feel like my sound, regardless of what anybody says, is different. I don't really sound like somebody. I could come off like somebody, like a delivery, but actual words and what I'm saying, I don't really sound like nobody.
Nobody. That's what's up. So do you kind of create your songs based off of life experiences or like people you know, some stuff they went through? You're like, all right, let me write a song about it. How does that work for you?
That's exactly what I do. I'm basing it. That's why I said I treated it like as my diary before. When I was growing up, I didn't have nobody really didn't need to hear me because any experience I go through, I would just write it down and it would be like relieving. It'd be like me venting. Because sometimes you don't want to vent to too many people, they won't look at you funny. So you could just write it down and that's your way of venting. But then I started making the music with it. And then on top of that, I started seeing my friends going through situations. I started seeing a lot of situations going on that I feel like wasn't right. It just wasn't fair. And nobody really cares. So my way was just expressing that nobody cares, just to let people know, like, this is what we're going through. And a lot of people go through it, so you could actually relate to it. But if you ever never had the silver spoon and you had to struggle for whatever you want, you'd be able to relate to it. And I don't ever try to come off like I'm better than nobody or anything. I just try to like to let everybody know the reason why I'm here, the experiences I went through, and the people around me. So even if they'll hear a song and one of my friends will be like, you was talking about me on that one, and I would just smirk on it. You feel me? Like I won't even say nothing, but I would smirk, and we both know. So it's like everybody around me, I take everything, the environment, what's going on, people's life, my life, and I'll put it into my diary.
Gotcha. What's next for Parelli?
So I did an interview with Drewski. I'm waiting for that to drop. I got an interview with you. I'm trying to do a show in Meadowlands and Secaucus. I'm trying to do a show for Rolling Loud in Miami. That's what I'm trying to do. Like I'm getting those dates, trying to book. Yeah, that's big. And then I'm trying to do within another 2 weeks, I'm trying to do a show in Brooklyn. I'm actually talking to the promoter right now. It was supposed to be a spot in downtown Brooklyn, but they switched it because they're shooting the movie scene. So now they're basically saying that if I perform, I'll probably be in the movie. So that's what we're talking about now before I actually go there and do that. So once I start getting the dates for everything, I'm just gonna post it. I'm gonna post it one at a time, and then once the date is over, I'm gonna take that flyer down and post the next flyer like that. I'm just gonna keep it going.
Cool. Shout out to you. Want to shout out people that been supporting you from day one to people you learned. Hooked up with later on. Shout those people out.
First, I want to shout out to my brother Zay. He's incarcerated right now. This is a guy that helped me. Like we both came up with this. Like we just gonna come out and just do this music. He don't really do music. He just like used to run the streets and stuff. But he seen I had a talent, and he didn't want to be in the streets anymore. So we started pushing that. But things happen, bumps around the road. So he's incarcerated. So I want to shout him over this day. I want to shout my brother, like one of my close friends, like an artist. His name is Sean Dollar Sign. And James J. Easy, my price went up. Trev Mula from Brooklyn. If you ain't been around Brooklyn, you know his name's Trev Mula. He move around. He just came back from Houston. He did a Wild 'N Out show. I couldn't make it because I had a situation with my daughter because I'm a full-time single dad. So I be having to get like babysitter, studio time, all that lined up in one. But shout out to Trev Mula. Shout out to Tev. I have a lot of people that like really hold me down. And RP my uncle, big time. That's the biggest influence on the music. He used to have me in the backseat of his car. I was like 5 years old. I'm bumping Nas, bumping Prodigy, My Beat, AZ. I used to be mad. He used to be like, little nigga, you want to listen to Lil Zane? We don't listen to Lil Zane over here. And shit like that. Like, so, but certain things, like they always leave a mark on me. And people that support me, I would never like forget about them. Whether we go our own ways in life, I always remember. And I don't want to sit too long with shouting people out. I'm sorry about that.
Yes, and definitely shout out to your uncle because he had you listening to some lyrical, dope, amazing rappers.
Yeah, definitely. Like Big L, AZ,
Yes.
Lost Boys, everything. Like There's a lot of artists that he really loves. Wu-Tang, not Riz, Sean Paul, rest in peace. I could go on for days, but he really had me really bumping with some people, man.
Yes, and Parelli, before you go, you have to give out your social media, Instagram, all that, so people know where to download your music, watch your videos, and, you know, shout you out, show love.
All right, so my IG, Parelli 6 Borough, but the way it is, I'm like one of a kind, right? So all you gotta do is put Parel, and the whole name's gonna pop up. You don't have to type in the underscore, you ain't gotta do nothing. You're gonna see Parelli 6 Borough. So basically, I'm just pushing that IG. IG, Parelli 6 Borough, YouTube, Parelli, Insomnia, or Google it. You don't even gotta go to YouTube. Just Google Parelli, Insomnia, Parelli Scheming, whatever you wanna do, Spotify, all of that. And I have a tape. Well, singles I'm about to come out, drop. First single is gonna be called Thin Line, featuring Young Jugs from RSNY. He moves around, he goes on tour, he does his own thing with Shaggy, he's a reggae artist. Then I have another one coming out called Purple, featuring James J. Easy. So, and I have another one after that featuring Trev Mula. So I'm about to come with single, then I'm gonna drop the tape. But that's what I'm doing right now.
We're all looking forward to hearing those new songs from you. Want you to go ahead and enjoy that food over there if it get cold. And once again, Parelli, thank you.
I appreciate you big time, and shout out to you in the streets and everything. Keep doing what you're doing. Hopefully we meet up again down the line at the top.
Most definitely.